Do have Anuj Gupta, who's a commodity expert, joining us on the show. Mr. Gupta, thank you so much for taking time out, and a very good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. Yeah.
You know, the very important question right now is whether or not it's going to be a good afternoon right from here to January 14th with that index rebalancing in mind. What are you looking at when it comes to silver?
See, this rebalancing is happening in every year, and this year they are saying that they will rebalancing this index, and probably they will cut almost 3 to 4% of their silver holdings. But apart from that, they are also saying that they will increase holdings in energy segment and in industrial metal like copper. So that will also be positive for the industrial side, as silver is the part of industrial metal. So we are not expecting so much correction due to this liquidation. But yes, definitely, if they're buying copper and other metal, and they will, if they add in their portfolio these industrial metal, so definitely silver will also taking support from that. So we are not expecting so much correction due to the liquidation. We are expecting that might be little bit correction in due to this sentiments. But yes, again we will see a sharp rally in the silver prices. But yes, for the short term perspective, we are expecting some volatility due to this, as they will correct, they will reduce their positions, and they will add in the copper. So expecting little bit more volatility in the silver prices.
All right, and so what you're looking at when it comes to gold as well, because, you know, similar outflows is something that Citi has in mind, $6.8 billion thereabout, is something that they're penciling in. I understand that you're saying that this happens every year, but not every year really comes after that scorching rally that we saw coming in for 2025. Given all of that, what is your outlook when it comes to gold?
See, the outlook for the gold, if we talk about the for the year 2026, we are very optimistic for the gold. But for the short term, as we have seen a rally in dollar index after the US and Venezuela fiasco, and Donald Trump looking a little bit positive for the Venezuela, that they will sell their 30-40 billion, the crude oil, and that will earn the money that will use for the Venezuela, the preference. So that will impact the positive for the dollar index. And we saw that after correction in the gold prices. Today we have seen in last 2 days gold prices corrected by almost $80 from the high of $4,500 per ounce. So expecting little bit more profit booking in the gold, and expecting little correction till 44.70 or $44.50 per ounce.
All right, and so those are the levels that you're keeping in mind when it comes to gold. I quickly, before we move on to copper, I wanted to get a sense of what you think about, let's say, if you have a pecking order when it comes to gold and silver, which one would you put first, and which one do you see better place to sort of eke out gains when it comes to the year 2026?
See, that is a very interesting question, because everybody is looking towards the silver. That silver is a part of safe haven, and as well as it's a part of industrial metal. And we have seen after adding silver in critical metal list, so we saw a sharp rally in the silver prices, and everybody is looking towards to invest in silver. So I'm with silver also. So I'm expecting if somebody wants to invest 100 rupees in gold and silver, so I'm saying that they can invest 40% in gold and 60% in silver. So silver, I'm expecting will beat again in this year.
And you know, robust ETF inflows, I'm actually quite curious about that as well when it comes to gold. What are you keeping in mind? Is that a key tailwind that makes it to your list as well?
See, definitely, gold ETFs are, getting many, instance to add investor. People are adding, gold ETF in their portfolio, because easy method to add. And even apart from that, we saw a very, good attraction towards silver ETF, and not only in silver ETF, in international level, copper ETF are also attracting the investors. So nowadays, investors are, looking towards industrial metal ETF, because they are getting very attraction due to this critical metal earth story. So I'm expecting that gold ETF will also add in their portfolio, and investor will add a silver ETF in their portfolio also.
All right, and so that's something that we're keeping in mind, ETFs as well. That, of course, is going to be top of the list this year, because you've seen that interest really come, that spotlight really come when it comes to gold and silver. But I also wanted to get a check going as far as copper is concerned. You seem to be quite bullish when copper is concerned. S&P Global, of course, is flagging the new areas of demand every day. You do have brokerages talking about how prices might just peak out when it comes to this month. Is that the view that you have, or are you bullish for copper when it comes to this entire year?
The inventories of the copper are very low. If you check in the CME and Shanghai Future Exchange and the COMEX, all exchanges, the inventory of the copper is very low. Due to this, we saw a sharp rally in the copper price, and even many economies are holding the copper as it is a part of critical metal, and also it's a part of industrial metal. Not only in copper, we saw a sharp rally in zinc, aluminium, nickel, and lead also. In last 2 3 days, we saw a good rally in lead and nickel price also. So industrial metals are looking attractive at that point of time, and I'm expecting this year would be for the base metal preferably, because many companies are holding industrial metals, and they are used for their industrial production or the electronics perspective. So expecting copper may lead further, and expecting a positive trend in 2026.
All right, then. Thank you so much, Mr. Gupta, for joining us. And you seem to be hitting the nail right on its head when it comes to base metals as well, because we've seen that rally sort of kick off for 2026. But it's time for a very quick break. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay tuned, because there's more news and updates on the other side.